Okay, today we're going to be starting chapter 10, which has to do with probability and statistics. Our first lesson is going to be 10.1, outcomes and events. Okay, we're going to start off with some vocabulary words. So an experiment is an investigation or procedure that has varying, and varying just means changing results. So it just means that it's an investigation that has changing results. The possible results of an experiment are called outcomes. Okay, so for example, if you were to flip a coin, the possible results would be heads or tails. Those are considered outcomes. Okay, the experiment would be considered flipping the coin. A collection of one or more outcomes is called an event. Okay, so that just means if you flip that coin more than once, if you do it a whole bunch of times, then it's going to be called an event. The outcomes of a specific event are called favorable outcomes. Okay, so for example, randomly selecting a marble from a group of marbles is an experiment. Each marble in the group is an outcome because you could possibly choose any of them. Selecting a green marble is an event. Okay, and then the number of favorable outcomes would be how many times could you choose a green marble. Okay, so we have 2 green marbles, so the number of favorable outcomes would be 2. The first example we're going to work through is identifying outcomes. So we're going to talk about a dice. So you're going to roll the number cube or the dice, just like mentally, okay? And we're going to talk about what are the possible outcomes. Okay, and let's remember that an outcome is just the result of rolling that. Okay, so there are 6 possible outcomes. Okay, and that would be rolling a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. Okay, a favorable outcome would then be rolling an even number. Okay, so we want to know what are the favorable outcome of rolling an even number. Well, if it's even, it has to be either 2, 4, or 6. Okay, then they want to know what are the favorable outcomes of rolling a number greater than 5. Oh, sorry, an odd number. So that is going to be 1, 3, and 5. Okay. Sorry, I was jumping ahead on that last one. And then if I were to ask you what are the favorable outcomes of rolling a number higher or greater than 5, I'll just do that over here to the side. Greater than 5 would just be 6, okay, because it's the only number that you could roll that is greater than 5. We're going to move on to example 2. So here we have a spinner. It looks like we have 3 red sections, 1 purple, 1 green, and 1 blue. Okay, they're saying that you're going to spin the spinner. Okay, so we're going to spin it around and see what it lands on. They want to know how many possible outcomes are there. Well, the spinner has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, so there are 6 possible outcomes. Okay, they want to know in how many ways can spinning a red occur. Well, the spinner has 3 red sections, so spinning a red can occur in 3 ways. Okay, because there's 3 different red sections. If there were 4 different red sections, our answer would be 4 ways. In how many ways can spinning a not purple occur? What are the favorable outcomes of spinning a not purple? So this not purple is very important. We want a color that's not purple. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections that are not purple. So there are 5 ways to spin not purple. Okay, and they want to know the favorable outcomes of spinning a not purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a table. Okay, just to kind of organize this a little bit better. I'm going to have a purple section. And the only way to spin a purple is to spin a purple. But then I'm also going to have a not purple section. Okay, and there's many different ways that we could spin not purple. We could spin this red section, so there's a red. We could spin this blue section, so there's a blue. There's this red section, so there's a red. There's this green section, so we could spin that green. There's this red section, so there's another red. Okay, so the favorable outcomes of the event of spinning a not purple would be red, blue, red, green, and red. Like I said before, you don't have to do that in a table, but when you get confusing ones, when there's a whole bunch of them, sometimes it's easier just to organize that in a table. And honestly, guys, that's it. That's our lesson for today. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause this video. Okay, I want you to try these problems on your own and then check your answers to see if they are correct. So right now you should hit the pause button. And if you're listening to me now, you should have finished these problems on your own. Okay, so you are randomly going to choose a marble. How many possible outcomes are there? Well, the answer to that question is just how many possible marbles are there? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 outcomes. Okay, and how many, and how many ways can choosing a blue occur? Well, you could choose this blue, or you could choose this blue. So that would be 2 ways that you could choose a blue. Okay. In how many ways can choosing a not yellow occur? What are the favorable outcomes of choosing a not yellow? So for that, I'm going to erase what I have on here so that I can be crossing these off to make sure that I don't forget about any. So I want a not yellow. Okay, so I could choose a blue for a not yellow, green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 ways that I could choose a not yellow. Okay, and the marbles that I would choose are those favorable outcomes. So I could choose a blue. Sorry, that was very sloppy. I will redo that. I could choose a green. And notice how I'm crossing them off after I write it, just so that I don't forget about any. I could choose a red, another blue, or a purple. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, as always, write them down in the corner or on the side of your paper, any place that you have space, so that you do not forget to ask me in class. But other than that, if you need to go back and rewatch any sections, feel free to do so.